Yoga has many benefits, in particular, strengthening the area of the hip. And the strongest muscle is the gluteus maximus. There's also the gluteus minimus and medius as well. The gluteus maximus enables hip alignment, so we need to keep it strong. These days, the Brazilian butt lift and buttocks enhancements, even buttocks enlargements, are very popular. So non-surgically, there are ways that we can both enhance our butt and also facilitate good alignment in the pelvic area. We'll begin in all fours position. In all fours position, lift your right knee up and try to create what feels like almost a 90-degree angle. Lift your foot up, lift it high. Keep your toes active as you lift the hip high. Keep the action going. You want to go slow while keeping a nice engagement of the leg. Breathing in and breathing out as you continue to lift the leg and release the knee down. Come to the opposite side with the left leg lifted, with the toes spread, a nice engagement. Lift your left knee up and lift it up. Lift it up. Just keep a nice pulsation of the leg lifting. Nice engagement. Breath is facilitating the strength in the back body. Few more cycles. Now come to lie in your belly. Once on your belly, roll to your side. Bend your knees with your inner big toes together. Place your left hand on your left leg. Lift up your left leg and create a little resistance with the left hand. Lift up. If you've got the stretch bands, you could use them for more resistance, but it's not necessary. Just keep on pulsing up and down. That looks very simple. And at first it is, but then you start to understand that there are certain muscles that don't get used that often in our yoga practice. So just doing a few repetitions of this clamshell movement, really important. This allows more strength and stability in the external rotators. Just a few more. And slowly come to your other side. I'm going to turn myself around so that I can see the camera. With your knees bent, with your right hand right at the IT band, inner big toes together. Notice the difference as you do the same movement. Very easy movement, slow movement. And you'll notice that after a few cycles, just with a little pressure of the top hand, you begin to notice there's a slight fatiguing going on. That's good. You've discovered how you can strengthen this external rotation. And a few more cycles. Nice ease in your breath and slow movements. We'll come to our belly again. As you lie in your belly, you can stack your hands, bend your right knee, and in the same way that we just did in all fours position, lift your right knee up, lift it up. Few more cycles, lift it up, lift it up, lift it up. Now move your right hand so that the palm is right at your buttocks cheek and your fingers at your hamstring, right? So lift your right foot up and just notice if you fire your glute first or if this is all your work in your hamstring. See if you can get the glutes to lift the knee up in this pulsation. Just a little test to make sure that we're working the correct muscle. We don't want the hamstrings to dominate here. Now let's trade sides. Bend your left knee. Lift your left knee up. Pulse it. You can park your forehead to your stacked hands. My head is slightly lifted so the sound doesn't get a little wacky. Take your left hand now to your buttocks and the fingers to the hamstrings. Lift your knee up and do that pulsation. And maybe you can even tell a difference in the side. Maybe on one side you can just feel the strength of the glutes a little bit more effectively than the opposite side. And you can slowly release your foot down. Let's come to a standing position. In the standing position, we'll come to a half squat position. And the important thing in this action is that when we squat, sometimes the knees go way forward, the heels want to lift. So you can take a wider stance. Just draw the pelvis down and lift up and draw down without having the knees go too far. You want to protect the knees as you do this action. And if you feel like it's just a little squat, you might want to use your arms to keep you balanced so that you can go into a slightly deeper squat. Your choice. Or the hands to the low back. Few more cycles. You don't want to take the buttocks lower than the knees again to protect the knees. Now let's try that in lunges. So step back on your mat. Step your right foot forward. Bend your knee, almost like you're trying to drop your knee down. Some of you can drop your knee quite a distance. Others of us, we just want to protect the knee and stay balanced. So continue that action. And step your left foot forward. Take your right foot back. Same thing. Bend the back knee, almost like you're trying to tap it down toward the earth. You get stability and strength, and you're working on balance in this. Now step the right foot forward, the left foot back, draw down. Step the left foot forward, the right foot back, draw down. Step the right foot forward, the left foot back, draw down. Step the left foot forward, the right foot back, draw down. Step to Tadasana, where your feet are hip distance apart. You feel grounded as you root down from the pelvis to the earth. You feel a nice lengthening quality from the pelvis all the way to the crown of the head. We worked on balance on 2 feet. Now let's try balance on 1 foot. If you've got blocks, grab them. If you don't have blocks, you could do this on books or on a stair step. As you place your right foot on the blocks, let your left foot draw down. Now draw the left toes up, so it's a little dorsiflexion of the ankle. And the same thing, just bend your right knee. Try not to go forward, but keep the spine nice and straight. Just bend the knee and draw the heel down. Not like you're stepping down, but you're almost tapping it, just drawing it down and up, just to get nice strength in the standing leg. Just a few repetitions here as you balance on one leg, bending the knee. You're maintaining nice steadiness in the movement and in your breath. Now step off the blocks, come to Tadasana again, and just notice how one leg feels slightly fatigued compared to the other. So let's try it on the left leg. So as you step onto the block, with the left leg engaged, the right toes in this dorsiflexion action, slightly lifted up, bend your knee, almost tapping the foot down. Some of you might be able to take a bigger step here, but I think the block height is a nice one to work with. Make sure your blocks are very steady. The cork blocks are terrific for this. Some blocks can be a little bit too soft. Keep the action going. This is also a really nice one for your psoas muscle. But we cover that in a different video. Just keep this nice pulsation. And step off into Tadasana again, standing tall with your feet hip distance apart. Nice full and even breath. Now off the block, let's do a little hip extension. Now that we feel really grounded from Tadasana, with the right foot just firmly in place, you can take your hands to your hips, elbows hug in, so you've got this nice openness in the chest. Reach your left foot back, take it forward, left foot back and down, left foot back and down. It's a little balance action. Make sure that the upper body is not leaning forward as you make these movements. Just see if you can get the action all in the hip. The leg moves back in hip extension and back. Again, you can feel the glutes really engaging nicely. Come to the opposite side. Same thing, hip extension, reach back. And feel how it's toning and engaging. And you might notice like one side feels a little bit more toned or a little stronger than the other side. Just a few more cycles while you stay steady on one foot. Now, if you find that balancing is just not your thing, since we're working mostly on hip strength and engagement of the gluteus, then just come to a wall or grab a stick so that you feel a little bit more secure. Balance is not our focus in this practice. It's mostly toned to the gluteus, maximus, minimus, and medius. Now, with your right leg firmly planted, take your left foot out, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. And if you need to hold on to a wall, a chair, or something, feel free. Just like the clamshell, this external rotation is really helpful to work on. Now release and do the same with the right leg out. Again, steadiness on the left leg as you reach out. So it's not back, it's not forward, you're just trying to reach to the side without leaning to the opposite side. Keep a nice elongation in the spine, a nice alignment. You can release your foot down. We'll come to lie on the right side on the mat. On your right side, your choice, you can bend your bottom leg, keep your top leg straight, and move the leg. With these slow and steady movements, your toes are engaged. You've got a nice spread to your toes, dorsiflexion of your ankle as you're moving your leg very slowly. Nice, steady movement. If you feel like, oh, this is not quite enough for me, you can offer some resistance with your hand. Or you can lift your pelvis up and work the leg. There's a little bit more engagement, your choice here. Let's come to the opposite side. You can roll over. I'll change directions with the bottom knee bent. Your choice again. You can be flat, top leg straight. You're lifting up with a nice engagement of the leg. You might even try the forearm balance, where your forearm helps you to lift your pelvis and you lift this top leg. So you get strong engagement here. Now you can release yourself down to the mat and come to lie down on your back. With your knees bent, come to lift your pelvis up in a bridge pose. And just take your hands, as we did before, take your hands with part of the palm at your cheek and the fingertips at your hamstrings. See if you can engage your gluteus even more. And draw down. And lift up. And draw down. Lift up. And draw down. Now lift up and keep the pelvis lifted as you lift your left foot up and take the pelvis down. Keep your left foot lifted and draw down. Keep your leg lifted, draw the pelvis down. Trade legs. Take your left foot down. Reach your right leg straight, roughly aligned with the left thigh. Draw your pelvis down, lift the pelvis up as high as possible. Draw down. Rise up. Come down. Lift up and down, up and down and up. Release your foot. Come to a nice high bridge pose and slowly release your pelvis down. Extend your legs. And as if your feet are like windshield wipers, just kind of move them side to side. We've been engaging the muscles of the pelvis and the legs. So now it's just time to just let the pelvic area be heavy. You can stop the movement of your feet. Close your eyes. Come to a nice ease in your breath. A nice softness in your facial muscles. Breathe in deep and out long. Breathe in deep and out long. Breathe in deep and out long. Now come to what feels like a very natural breath for you. Stay in the ease of Savasana. Enjoy the grounded quality, the anchored quality of the pelvis that allows your legs to feel so rested in this pose, so at ease. Enjoy your Shavasana. Namaste.